Well, hello everybody and welcome to another video tutorial. My name is Drakulic and today I would like to show you how you can draw some mannequins, as we call them, some very simplistic stick human figures through using what we call one-point perspective. So linear perspective is a set of rules that helps us into drawing more realistically and projecting any 3D environment onto the two-dimensional piece of paper or the canvas we're drawing or painting on. So it's very important that you learn the rules of the linear perspective so that you give some more realism to your works. Alright, let me now give you a simple example of one-point linear perspective. I'm using Krita and I'm going to be using the line tool in Krita, and the first thing I want to do is to draw a horizontal line here. This line is very important. It is the horizon line. It is the line that it is at the same height with the viewer's eyes, all right, at the same height, and it's very important because it is the imaginary line where every element of our 3D environment seems to getting smaller and smaller as it is approaching that line there. So let me draw a simple plane here, and let me imagine that this plane is moving towards this direction here. Alright, so it's going to be getting smaller and smaller until it will look like it has vanished. It vanishes when it comes close enough to that line, horizon line here. That's why the point where it meets this sliding plane, meets the horizon line, we call it a vanishing point. So in order for me to correctly draw how this plane will look like as it is sliding along this direction, and how I can draw any instance of this plane as it is sliding along this direction, I need first to draw those lines here that connect that plane to this vanishing point. Right, after this, I have these lines here. I can draw any other instance of that plane by just, drawing those lines here, parallel lines to the, let's say I wanted to draw this plane somewhere at this depth here, this instance of the plane. It is of exactly the same dimensions, but now it has moved towards the horizon line, so it appears to be smaller. Alright, now very important this, because according to this we're going to try to draw some figures, human figures, in perspective. So let me show you how you can do this by just first establishing the horizon line, and then let me draw a symbol line here. I'm going to be dividing this line into 8 equal segments, and 8 because according to the rules of anatomy, the ideal human height is of 8 human heads. So now let's go ahead and try to draw a very simple human stick figure. Nothing very fancy indeed, but just a very simple human figure here. So and I'm going to try to alright, to stay, I'm going to try to keep the proportions as much as I can. Alright, so now we have drawn this very simple human figure, and this, okay, this is our human figure, and now I want to establish a vanishing point, right, somewhere here, let's say, and I want to bring those lines here, this line and this one, those straight lines here. Okay, now I can draw any other instance of this human figure, human stick figure actually, anywhere along that plane here. You can see this plane, okay? So I can draw, let's say, at the distance, yet another human stick figure like this one, proportionally correct, because I'm taking into account the distortion, all right, due to the one-point perspective. So let's say that I wanted to draw yet another stick figure somewhere here. All right. Now, in order for me to have some help in drawing this stick figure here, I'm going to connect the marks, the 8 marks here, all right, to the vanishing point. All right. So at least the most important of them. All right. Okay. Perhaps I need to. All right. This one and so on and so forth. So now I can draw the human stick figure here more easily, because I now have the reference lines here. All right. So I'm try to draw this figure over there, and so now nothing very fancy, just a very basic human figure. And let's say that, all right, this human figure now is exactly at the same of the same height, has the same height with this in the front, right? But it is projected at the distance, and it is proportionally should be correct, since we have taken into account those marks here, right? We have projected the lines. So let's say that I wanted to draw a figure that is sitting on top, on a chair perhaps, or on a bench or something like that. So I want to draw this figure at the same depth, at the same distance as this second figure here, stick figure. So all I need to do is to bring some horizontal lines now, starting from this point. I'm going to bring those lines here, all right? And let's say that my figure was standing up, all right? But now I want to draw it as sitting on top of on a bench or something like that. So the height of a figure that is sitting, all right, it's 6 heads. So I need to find the 6 heads mark here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. All right, somewhere here, and I want to draw a line parallel to the other lines somewhere here. Okay. And now I want to start drawing my figure, my sitting figure, all right, somewhere like so, here, all right, maybe, okay, very simplistic, of course. Of course, I'm not using now all the lines, because it would be really overwhelming, perhaps, but I just want to give you the basic idea. Alright, so I have drawn this figure now, which is of exactly the same height of the other two figures, but now it is in the horizon, it is projected, excuse me, at this distance, right? So this way you can draw any other, you can place any other stick figure on this plane. Let's say that I wanted to place yet another figure on this plane, alright? At this point, excuse me, on the plane. So let me draw a line here, all right, and let establish a vanishing point for this figure, all right. Let's say that this is the vanishing point now for this figure, all right. All I have to do is to go and find the all right, somewhere here perhaps. All I have to do is to go and see where this line here intersects the line that goes to that vanishing point here, the first one. So, and there I need to draw a line, okay, somewhere here, and where it intersects that line there, where that line there intersects this top line here, I'm going to bring yet another line, and where this line intersects with the height of my stick figure, that will be the right height, right, proportionally correct height according to the 1 point perspective. So all I had to do then would be to divide this height into 8 equal segments, and then just trying to draw this figure now. Okay, so let me, alright, just very basic figure over there. Okay, so now you can see that this figure now has exactly the same height as the two other figures, but this time we have placed this figure, alright, at this point here on the plane here. Okay, so that's how you can draw stick figures, or for that matter any other object like trees, for example, or houses perhaps, anywhere on the plane through using a 1 point perspective. So that was our tutorial for today. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something out of, from this. If you like this tutorial, don't forget to subscribe. See you next time with another hopefully interesting topic, hopefully soon. Until then, have fun and goodbye.